Good morning, guys. Had a rough start this morning. Took my 10, 11 really, but I only had like a 5.5 hour drive to my next fuel stop, but it took a little longer to get there. About so I had a 5.5 hour drive. My 8 hour 30 minute almost ran out, and I didn't have any traffic or anything. It's going the speed limits. I can only be governed out at like 65 miles an hour, and it took 8 hours to drive 5.5 hours. Got my fuel. I was gonna end up being running late for this load, so I sent a running late message, and they called me like, "Why are you gonna be running late?" I was like, "Well, I had to get fuel at the Opti stop they sent me," and they decided to inform me that if you had enough fuel to get all the way to final, you should have just went to final. I was like, no one's ever told me to just skip fuel stops, ever. So, and then there's been times where they've given me Opti stops where I've almost ran out of fuel before I even got to them. So, and then if I try to get fuel somewhere else, then I got to call fuel department and try to get authorized. And then if I say, well, someone told me I didn't have to follow the Opti stop, I can just go if I have fuel. But then if I go, then someone's going to yell at me for not getting fuel at the last place. So it's like, he said, she said, don't do this, do that bullshit. So, and then I get here at this place in Illinois, and there's a person at the window, but I have to do an electronic check-in. So I scan their QR code, try to log in. They send me a code. I put the code in, but then it says my location services aren't working. So I do everything, and the girl starts giving me attitude. And then so I have to get out, go to the little kiosk thing and do it. And this whole checking in on our own system is crap. It's like there's already a person standing there. Why can't I just hand you my stuff and you tell me what to do? And then I had to go to a staging area, which I didn't know where it was, and by the time I found it, I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then so I'm late for this load, so now I get here, they don't put me in a door, they send me to the staging area, and then I sat there in the staging area, and then by the time I got into a door, now it's so it's like 2 hours after the appointment, and I've been sitting here. So I'm like, so much for appointment times, and so much for being mad that I'm late, that I'm even later into a door. So, and I may have taken an extra hour on my 10 because I wanted to make sure I had enough sleep. I don't drive at night. Would have had to drive in the middle of the night. And so excuse me for trying to be a safe driver and not be fatigued driving. So I can always get them on that. It's like, you're gonna force me to drive when I'm tired or I'm fatigued, and if that causes me to have an accident because I'm fatigued, it's like, I'm pretty sure I can take you to court on that one. It's like, I was trying to be safe. I took an extra hour. I thought I had enough time for this load, which apparently not when it takes an extra 3 hours to drive 5 hours. So, I don't know. And then I get here, I came through one gate, and she said, you're at the wrong gate. It sends me around. When I come through, the gate I was at in the first place connects to this place. So why not just send me through this way? Make me go all the way around to a whole nother gate that's connected to the same facility. Ridiculous. So it's been a morning. And after this load, I gotta go pick up, and I'm taking 3 stops to Colorado. So it's a good thing I'm only driving with this company for another month, because I'm sick of their stuff. Their policies compared to, DOT regulations on safe driving, don't drive fatigued, but you guys are calling me angry that the load's late. It's like, why even have appointment times then? Just give us a date, and it gets there. And then some of these shippers and receivers have late fees and stuff. I'm like, Okay, and if someone cut me off and caused me to crash and flip into a ditch, well, hey, guess what? Your load's in a ditch. Go get it. Fucking. Ugh. God, this bothers me. There's just days where I'm having a good day, I'm going, and then someone calls me about some crap. Like, also, my tolls don't work. So I had to take a non-toll route just to get here. Because every time I stop at a toll, they're like, you're going to pay this toll? I'm like, Stevens pays for it, not me. Like, well, it's not working. I'm like, call Stevens. Call them. I've already called to complain about their tolls not working, and they kind of just brush it off like, oh, well, I guess the first of the month, and I guess they didn't get a check or whatever. I'm like, when you have a trucking company and we're going through tolls, I think having your tolls in order might be number one. So, I don't know if anybody else in our fleet's having this problem or what they're doing to solve it. I mean, if you're gonna send me back to Stevens to get a whole new pass, then fine, but you gotta kind of tell me. I've already called you and told you about my toll problem, and you just brush it off. I'm like, so now I'm taking non-toll routes that may be a couple hours longer. I don't know, like, but shit happens. Like, also on the way here, I stopped to use the restroom, and it turned out to be another issue. So I took care of that. That saying, shit happens. But, you know, they really pressurize you to, or put pressure on you to get these loads on time when anything can happen out here. You can get stuck in a snowstorm, or flip off the road, or blowouts, and it's like, then they want to yell at you for being late, and it's like, what do you want me to do? I was like, I can't control stuff. There's a lot of things out here we can't control, and then we're getting yelled at. Oh, and then she accused me of taking a 14-hour break. Well, guess what? I went right on my little electronic loggy here, and it says 11. So where's that 3 extra hours you're getting, girl? 14 hours, my butt. Accusing me of taking 14 hours when I only took an 11. And no matter what time I leave, I was going to be late anyway. It took me 8 hours to drive 5 hours. But yeah. I hope you guys don't have the same problems I do, or just crap luck. But yeah. Well, that's going to be it for this morning. Maybe I might make another video tonight. But, yeah. Drive safe. Be nice to each other. Protect the Motor Republic. All right, bye.